Hello, it's Liz here with Stampin' on the Rock. We'll get started in just a minute. I just thought I would pop in with my face today, so if you're new here, you can see who you're actually creating with. So this is me. So give me a minute. I'm going to turn the camera around and we'll get started on today's project. Okay, I think we're good. Usually I just show my hands, and I know once in a while it's just nice to see who is this person I'm creating with or watching a video. So there you go. That was me. Today I'm going to do something called four corners stamping, card making. This is a trend that was around many years ago, and then it kind of faded away, and then it's back again. It's kind of like clothing and fashion. Things kind of come and go. So let's just get started with it. And if you've been around stamping for a long time, maybe you've seen it before. If you haven't, then this is something new to you. Either way, I think it's good to just remind ourselves of so many options that are out there. So what I'll be using is one sheet of white cardstock, a full sheet. Okay, and then I have four card bases. There's white card bases, but this color can vary depending on what you're doing. But I have four card bases, just the 8.5 by 11 sheet cut in half. And then I have four pieces here of cardstock. These colors will vary depending on what you're doing, but I have two Calypso Coral and two Gorgeous Grape, and they are 4 by 5.25 inches. Okay, so we're going to set those aside for a minute, and we'll set our card bases aside for a minute. Set those up there. All right, so this is my white piece of cardstock that I'll be using. Let me go through the other things. The stamp set I'm using today is called Artistically Inked. I'll be using some gems, a little bit of embellishments. These embellishments are purple fine shimmer gems. So pretty. The colors I'll be using, pay attention because you're going to spot maybe a new color. Okay, so the colors I'll be using is Gorgeous Grape, Calypso Coral, and Shy Shamrock. There you go. We've got a new color coming in. Okay, Gorgeous Grape, Calypso Coral, and Shy Shamrock. So I'm going to take this piece here. This is my just white piece of cardstock. I'm going to put this into my trimmer. And I'm going to score. I'll hold it vertically. And I'm going to score at 4.25 inches. And then I'm going to turn it and score at 5.5 inches. And we'll get that out of here. Okay, so this is what I have. So I basically just want to be out. I'm using these score lines just as a guide. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to start stamping along those guides, along the score lines. All right, so let's open up these ink colors. Remember Shy Shamrock, Calypso Coral, and Gorgeous Grape. I'll be using this little tiny, like 3 little flowers. I have a leaf stamp here and this larger flower. Okay, so I'm going to start with this larger one in Gorgeous Grape. Remember, we're tap, tap, tapping, not squish, squish. Tap, tap, tap. And I'm just going to start going along those lines. All right, and I can go a little to the right, a little to the left, right on. You don't have to be right necessarily on it, but you want to stay on those lines. Okay, and for right now, I'm stamping everything full strength. All right, and I'm going a little to the right, little to the left. All right, so that's what I have at the moment. Basically stayed like a cross right on those lines. All right, then I'm going to go in with the smaller ones, the little smaller flowers in Calypso Coral, and start stamping those in here. Again, kind of staying somewhat along those lines. Little to the right, little to the left. Okay, and we're just going to start filling in. All right, and you can always come back later and add in. Now I'm doing the Shy Shamrock with the leaf. And you want to get both sides of the line. You don't necessarily want to be on just one side, so I'm kind of going out to the right and the left of that line. So is this something you've done before? Does this look familiar to you? Some of you, maybe, yes, no. I might actually even be doing my leaf upside down. It's okay. Okay, we're just gonna randomly, we're just adding in here. But if you need to get, like, I've heard people like, oh, I have, you know, I need to do 4 birthday cards this month, or I need to do 4 sympathy cards, or 3 or something like that. But this is a way that you can do, I think I'm gonna end it right there with that, with the green. Okay, now what I'm gonna, but this is what I was saying, if you need like 3 or 4 or something at once, this is a great way. You're gonna do 4 cards all at one time. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to take the Gorgeous Grape, but I'm going to stamp off and just go back in and add and fill in anywhere where it seems like there's some white space. But I'm stamping off first so that I get a lighter, just a little bit lighter. Okay, let's add a little bit more in there. And you can fill it in, fill it out where you think it might need to come out a little further. Ooh, I don't like that. That's just, see how this came out like kind of a straight line? Not really what I want. Okay, so what we're going to do with that, not a big deal. We're going to go back in and we're going to add some extra flowers in here because you don't want it to be exact straight line. And we'll add these in there. Okay, I think that's good. Let's do this. Okay, I think we're good with that. All right. So this is just, you're going to be playing around with it. Let's close up these ink pads and we'll go on to the next step. So now what I'm going to do is let's get rid of this. I don't need that anymore. Let's pull this in. And I'm going to cut now where those score lines were. So we're going to go back to 5.5 inches. And then we're going to slice. And I can put these 2 together. And we're going to cut at 4.25 inches. And we're going to slice. Okay. So this is what you have at the moment. But what I want then is, because I'm having a border, this is going to be my border around it. I actually want these pieces to be 3 3/4 by 5. Because they're going to get layered on top of that. So these need to be cut down to 3 3/4 by 5. All right. So what I did with them is I want to cut off more of the white part, not this. You want to keep as much of the inked part as you can. So we're going to cut this down to 5. And we'll cut this one to 3 3/4. All right, so that's our one piece now. Let's do this one. Again, 3 3/4. We're cutting off the white edges by 5. There you go. And then we'll do the next one. We want this to be 5. And we want this to be 3 3/4. And we have one more. Again, 5 by 3 3/4. Okay. Oops, sorry, wrong one. That one, this way. All right. So now here are our pieces. And now you know why it's called 4-corner stamping. We stamped right through the center, but then when we cut them all in pieces, we have our corners. Okay, so we have all of our stamping done in the corners. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to look at a little flecks of some stuff on here, dirt. All right, so I'm going to use my Shy Shamrock, and I'm taking my thanks stamp, but there's also a happy birthday in this stamp set also. There's a happy birthday here, best wishes, hello. So you could take care of your thanks or your happy birthday. And then you can decide, do you want it to be this way? Do you want it to be this way? It's really up to you. I'm going to do this one like this. And here's what I'm going to do. This is fun. This works well if your ink pad is inked well. If you have an ink pad that's drying out, you're going to notice this isn't going to work so well. So you want to make sure that your ink pads are well inked. So yes, you can buy ink refills to re-ink your pads. If they're dry, do not throw them away. We can re-ink them. Okay, so I'm going to stamp down. I'm lifting up slightly. I'm moving down and slightly to the right. I'm moving down and slightly to the right, and stamping again. Okay, so that you end up with this. All right, let's do the next one. Should we do this one this way? No, I think I like this one to be up this way. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing again. We're gonna ink, stamp down, pick up, go down and to the right, pick up, go down and to the right. And there you go. Thanks, thanks, thanks. Let's see the next one. We'll do this one this way. Okay, I'm going to stamping, inking down, pick up, go down and to the right, down and to the right. And there you go. And we'll do the last one here. And we'll go down and to the right, down and to the right. And there we go. And again, if your ink pad is not well inked, you're going to have a tough time because it's going to start out like this. If it's not well inked, you're going to have this second one is probably going to be your first one. You're not going to get that big, bold brightness up there. And you'll run out of ink by the time you get to the third one. Okay, so we're going to close that up. And then those are our cards. Let me go ahead and I'm just going to do one of these for you. Flip this over. And I'm using the liquid glue here. And again, with the liquid glue, you just want to make sure you don't have a lot near the edges. If you see where when I put my glue on there, it's not at the edges. It's in a little bit. And we'll put that down on top there. Flip that over. All right, I'm going to grab one of my bases. Grab my base. It's hard to see white on white. Okay. And because I like to do dimensionals, something pop up, I'm going to take a dimensional and pop up this layer. Oops. Didn't want two in there, just one is fine. All right. No, there has to be one that's a bugger to get off. All right. And let's go ahead and lay this down. There you go. All right. And then I just wanted to add some gems to that. So I grabbed these purple fine shimmer gems. And I'm going to use the scissors here and pick up underneath. And we're just going to go ahead and stick that in there. And let's see, let's put one just down here. Let's put a tiny little one over here. And there you go. And there's your card. I have a set that I made up ahead of time so I can show you. Let's move all this out of the way here. Okay, so these are the different colors with the Calypso coral background and the gorgeous grape. So there you go. That is 5. See if I can get that a little closer for you. Those are 4 cards that were made pretty quickly. So that's the 4 corner stamping. Give it a try. Let me know what you think. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.